All right. Now that's a little tune from my friend Pat Hall. Pat Hall. St. Clair, all right. This sweet tune. He's got some sweet tunes. All right. Welcome to the show, everybody. Round of applause for Pat Hall. Look at that. New record. Just dropped. Pat Hall. From Chico, California, dude. Got this in the mail today. I'm going to take these sunglasses off even though I want to keep them on because I feel like hiding from the world. But I'm not going to do it. I'm going to face it head on. So that was a sweet little Pat Hall tune. And if you don't know Pat Hall, now you do. Go check him out on the internet. PatHall.com, I think. PatHallmusic.com. One of those. Either Pat Hall or PatHallmusic.com. Good old friend of mine. And, oh, what a surprise. What a surprise. I head home today for my walk with Freddie, and there's a package for old Tyler. And it was Pat Hall's new record. What a treat. What a treat. Don't underestimate the joy of getting a package from a friend. You know, I was having a rough day, too. Having a little bit of one of those days, just fighting my little inner demons. You know, just letting the ego, hey, come on, fatty, you know. And Mark Norman's my inner voice now. And then I get to the front door, and there's this record, and I just felt everything just disappear. All the anger, all the ego, all the cocaine just disappear. Because I knew I was going to pop in this new record, and it was a sweet feeling. And yeah, we'll talk about Pat Hall a little bit. We started, we grew up together, and then he started music and I started comedy around the same time. And it was a really cool journey because, you know, we're kind of running parallel to each other, but he was pursuing music and I was doing comedy. And we would do, here's a little tip for you. If you're a comedian, whatever artist you are, surround yourself with people who aren't directly in your genre and your medium. It really helps. I think it helps you grow a lot because instead of hanging out with only comedians, I would hang out with musicians and poets and jugglers and fire throwers and sword swallowers and all these. And I'm actually not even kidding. And so me and Pat would go to these all genre open mics. And what's great about those, they give you more time as a comedian. They don't know about the light to give you the light. So you get to do extra time. And then you get to see, you know, what a poet thinks of your comedy, which is pretty valuable stuff. So me and Pat would go down to these open mics, and we were both male nannies during the day, living a double life. So we'd go and watch kids during the day. We'd watch rich kids to make our money. Then at night, he'd grab the guitar, I'd grab my joke book. We'd hit the scene, we'd hit the town, we'd jump around open mics, get home at 4 or 5 in the morning, and we would do that every day for years and years and years. And some of the most fun times ever. So, and he's still pumping out great music, and I'm still pumping out dad puns and whatnot. And so thank you, Pat, for the album. And yeah, we'd get into some shenanigans. We were a bunch of recluses. Recluses? Is that a word? You know, we'd watch the kids, and we have a few hours before heading out. You know, open mics didn't start till 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So we would just roam around town, just chugging coffees, getting high on the bean, and getting into all sorts of trouble. Like not like drug. We weren't on drugs. We were on coffee. So we would get into like coffee high trouble. Thankfully, that would only last like 30 minutes because that's about as long as a coffee high lasts. So it keeps your crimes low. It keeps the crimes low. For instance, I'll just give you one example. One day we going to CVS to get, who knows, perhaps a energy bar or maybe a pack of gum or who knows, batteries or something. And there's a a life-size doll. And the whole thing was like, if you hold her hand, she'll hold your hand. You can walk with Olivia. Grab her hand and walk her down the street. So we bought a life-size doll named Olivia, and we walked around Park Slope pretending like it was a human. And those are the types of things we got into. And then one of our friends, I believe, dismembered Olivia and hid the body parts all over Pat's house, and I think he found her head in the freezer about a year later. So, stay in school. Okay. I'm sorry, this is a day late. I know Monday's kind of the unofficial day I released this. Yesterday, I recorded 4 television commercials. So I did the voice for 3 commercials for one company and 1 for another. And so that was very exciting because I've been pursuing voiceover. I've wanted to do it my entire life. It really took me about a good 13 years to break into it. Not saying it's going to take you that long if you want to get into voiceover. That was my journey, okay? That was my personal journey. And I let my higher power make all those decisions. Yes, I have a higher power. It is gelato, but you get to choose your own higher power. So I'm in a bit of a commercially voice here. Yes, the all-new Subaru X54453 Highlander. Subaru. Middle-aged lesbian couples. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. That's the new spot. It wasn't for Subaru. It was for a different car company. But it's just I feel so hashtag blessed because I've wanted to do this for so long. In the pandemic, I was forced to find another career aside from TV acting, so I got into voice acting. Turned my storage closet into a voiceover booth. Here's another tip. If you want to get into voiceover, you don't need a big professional booth. This is the microphone I used to record a car commercial that hopefully will be playing across the entire country. Perhaps in the whole world. Maybe the whole world will see it. And it was all done on this microphone, which costs about, I think, $90. It's a Shure SM58. And then I have a Focusrite preamp, which I believe was less than $100. That hooks in your computer. You record the audio. It's all done in my broom closet. So when this commercial airs, if I find it, you'll know I recorded it with literally 1 foot in a mop bucket, high on fabric softener fumes, because that's my storage closet where I put all my chemically induced house cleaners. So it's just the way it is, you know. And I got blankets all over the wall to absorb the sound. So it's cum-crusted blankets. And that's where these I didn't need to say cum-crusted. I didn't need to say that. In fact, I told myself not to say it when I was going over this in my head. I said, "Don't say that. Don't say cum-crusted. The show's going well. Don't say that cum-crusted." You know, if Bill Cosby was still around and I was famous, he would call me and he'd go, "Don't do the joke, don't say the cum-crusted." He'd say, "Don't say that," because that's what he did with what's his name? Eddie Murphy called him up and he said, "Don't swear, keep it family friendly." Little did we know he was raping everybody. So if Bill calls me from jail and says, "Don't do it, don't come on the crust," I'll say, "Bill, with all due respect, you've raped up to 40 women, so I can say cum-crusted occasionally." Derail. Look at that. A total derail. Anyone want to produce this thing to keep me on the fucking tracks? So, my point is that I recorded a national television commercial from my broom closet, and what a commute that was. I woke up, got in the shower, and walked about 8 feet into the closet, and I was in the closet all day screaming. Then I have to have a talk with the other people that live in my house and say, look, from 3 to 5, I'm going to be yelling about frozen egg rolls and new hybrid cars. So don't mind me. One of the reasons I love voiceover so much, it's one of the few art forms, one of the few things happening in the entertainment business now where it doesn't matter what color you are, what shape you are, what age you are, which is becoming more and more important in all sorts of walks of our life now. And with voiceover, they don't care, It's colorblind, it's ageless, which is fantastic. Today I auditioned for a 16-year-old. And I just changed my voice like that. I just did a little bit of this, a little bit of teen, put a little Gen Z in it. And went well. If they knew I looked like this, that'd be odd. So it's a real fair and balanced. There's just something to be learned about that, how fair and balanced it is, and how blind the submissions are. I hope that, because I am seeing here and there now, they're like, tell us what color. I'm not even kidding. They'll be like, you have to check a box. Are you white, brown, this, or the other? And I'm like, well, what does that have to do with any of this? And that's the whole equity thing. We'll get into that in another show, because that's a whole can of worms, and the worms are very diverse and inclusive. So, hey, the world feels like it's opening back up a bit. I did a couple shows last weekend in bars, and they're like kind of outdoor shows with tents, and then I went down into the bar, because you have to walk through the bar to leave. It was packed. It was fucking packed. Holy shit. I couldn't even process it. Man, wall to wall, packed. I assume they were breaking the capacity rule, but wild stuff. We're back, baby, and Miami's getting nuts. Well, I don't know what we expect. We just jam people in these cages for a year. They're all horned up. They're all socially weird, right? Everyone's an alcoholic now, and you're surprised that people are flocking to a state that's open? I don't know what you expect. I mean, they didn't talk about any of this stuff. That's the thing they didn't talk about was, the mental health part and the drug and alcohol dependency. And, I'm addicted to ginger now. Look at this. I got 8 blocks of ginger in here. This is going to be more of a tea episode. You're going to feel it. You'll feel the vibe. It'll be boring to all you tea drinkers out there. And here's what's been interesting is the more left-leaning news stations, let's say, are starting to challenge this stuff. That's when you go, whoa, okay, because you got the more right-leaning news sites and more conservative sites. They've been challenging this the whole time. And by the way, I'll just get this out. I watch everything. I'm not ashamed to say that. Keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer? I want to know what's going on everything. I want to know what everyone's saying on every side. So what I've noticed is the more left-leaning stations, your NPRs, good morning, welcome to NPR, 72 degrees in Central Park. And today we have a guest on who will tell you how shitty white people are. Okay. Frankly, the failing NPRs, right? Okay? Failing NPR. They're making you buy their tote bags, right? The whole thing is a scam. You buy a tote bag for $7,000, right? And then they tell you how racist you are, frankly. Fake news. So they're challenging Fauci a lot more, which I find interesting. And I've been watching these interviews, and I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be dead honest with you here. I said it last time, I think Fauci wants to keep this party going. He's loving the publicity. The guy's a fucking celeb. Who wouldn't? Part of me doesn't blame him. The guy's just been in his lab with test tubes, and now he's a national figure. But something about when I'm watching it makes me think he really wants this to keep going. And you know how you can tell Fauci wants us to keep going? By how many hurdles he's claiming are in our way. And his hurdles are all come in the form of like land masses. You know, every interview. Dr. Fauci, when do you think we're going to have indoor weddings again? Because you said, you did say 2 weeks to flatten the curve, and it's been over a year. Okay, here we go again with the 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Now, it was misconceived. If you listen closely, what I actually said was, we are too weak to flatten the curve. I didn't say 2 weeks to flatten the curve. I said, we are too weak to flatten the curve, which is why we have to be safe. We have to be careful. We can't just go opening up. As you know, we were faced with a big challenge. It was something like a mountain we had to climb and conquer and get over. But even though we conquered the mountain, we came out on the other side and were met with a plateau. And we got over the plateau and were met with a very vast, long plain. We had to walk the plain carefully, mind you, carefully. That doesn't mean we're in the clear. We can very much encounter something else in our way, even a hill. If we were to come across a hill, then we need to slow down and lock down. Once over the hill, we still might have to get over a bump or even a lump. God forbid, even a hump. And that's not the end. You could then fall into a crater and be met with nooks and or crannies, and perhaps dump into a COVID river that can take you down and end up into a bog. And now we're bogged down. So what I'm saying is, in 3 to 5 to 12 years, we can start thinking about reopening in another 12 to 15 to 75 years. At that point, I would say, if you have 11 masks on, you can at that point go and visit your grandparents in the cemetery if they have a plastic covering around the grave. Because droplets could come out of the deceased's mouth and sort of trickle up through the groundwater, get into the population's drinking water supply. Now we're reinfected with COVID, and that wouldn't be good. So we have to protect the deceased. Once we revaccinate everyone who's died in the last 95 years, we go back in time, kill Hitler and Stalin and Mao, then perhaps you can hang out with 2 to 3 friends in your backyard and watch the fireworks. I have a book out. It's a cartoon book about my life. I thought I'd mention it while there's 9 million people watching. I'm just saying. That's what I noticed. If someone's eating a sandwich, the crumbs could be infected. A droplet could fly out and infect a crumb, which enters the mouth of a pigeon, which flies across the nation, takes a poop. Somebody might get a little poop into the mouth. A cum-crusted blanket. Okay. All right, guys. Settle down. Everybody calm down, okay? Just calm down. Just calm down. Get your vaccine and calm down. What's going on with the Cuomo? I'll tell you what's going on. These cancelers are getting it straight up the arse. I'm just like, I do worry about the getting canceled and whatnot. That's one of the reasons I started the podcast. I'm going to be honest. But now they're all getting fucked up the A. They're getting effed up the A. That's right. Why? Because they do think the Kavanaugh hearing was a great example. Everybody just believe all women. He's guilty. He's guilty. Then they get accused. Oh, do they have a little egg on their face? Do they have a little cum-crusted egg right hanging on their little face there? Because Andrew Cuomo. Oh my Jesus. God darn, I think I'm allergic to that impression. I think the world is telling me to stop doing the Andrew Cuomo impression for some reason. I've been coughing every time I do it. Also, my TikToks were taken down. Can you believe it? My fucking TikToks. I did a great TikTok. I did the impression. I put a clip from this podcast onto the TikTok, okay? Because I'm being socially influenced to join and take part in all that teen stuff. And it was removed. I did the clip on here. I shared it on TikTok about Andrew Cuomo saying he's Italian and so he can touch everybody. It was blowing up on TikTok. Blowing up. I'm talking hundreds of thousands of views. It started to just, woo! It was going to the fucking moon. And I've had a couple TikToks go viral, and it is fun, I will tell you. I'm not sure why I'm on there, but I had a TikTok get 3 million views, and it was a German TikTok where I'm shaving. This was an old Vine I did. I'm shaving to go to work, and I'm going to shave my mustache off, and then my razor dies, and I have a Hitler mustache. It's a 6-second thing. It got 6 million views. It went viral in Germany. Very pro-Nazi stuff going on there. By the way, these comments were terrifying. Take a look at Germany if you think America is racist and whatnot. So my point is, it's a lot of fun to have something go viral on TikTok because it's an unbelievable. It's the same stuff I put on Instagram, but they have a far more fair way of letting things go viral. That I do like about TikTok. What happens is you put one out and they show it to like 100 people. And if a certain amount like it or comment, they go, ooh, they're onto something. Then they show it to another 100 or 100, another 1,000. And the things just grow. And before you know, you got a TikTok. So I go on, the thing's blowing up. It's out of control. My following's blowing up. And then I look and it says, your TikTok has been banned. We banned your talks. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm Andrew Cuomo. And I looked up, it said, for sexual content. They called it sexual content and nudity. We have robots now, algorithms, deciding what stays or goes. It's really terrifying. If you recall, I wasn't nude during this. There was no nudity involved. And was it sexual in nature? Yeah, I suppose. It was about him sexually assaulting people. So he can go and grab you by the puss and kiss your mouth, all right? And fucking lick your focaccia. I can't do an impression of him. So he's allowed to do that and govern New York and kill everyone's grandparents. I do an impression of him and it gets banned from the internet. Isn't that funny? So I looked it up. This is the problem. One of the problems with cancel culture. It's too vague. Basically, if you look at the terms and the terms of use for these apps, they can remove a video at any moment with no explanation. They don't have to tell you why. I started looking at some of the reasons that they can take videos off. I shit you not. one of the reasons for a video to be banned and removed immediately, if somebody's watching your tics and or talks and they become aroused, they can report it and it gets removed. I'm going to say that again. If somebody becomes aroused, it's considered sexual content and it can be removed. If that's the logic we're going by, if those are the rules, I would say remove every single dance video done by every single teenager on TikTok, which makes up probably 99.99%, because I'm pretty sure there's some pedophiles peddling their diddles to these kiddles. It's ridiculous. It's fucking crazy. That's the voice I did for the car commercial. Buy the car! It's a fast car! I just did Harry Carey. What if I did that? That's what I should have done. All right, Tyler, we loved your audition. This is for the national car commercial. Go ahead.
Well, it's a wonderful car. I think it's going to be a fast car. I got a fast car. Is it fast enough we can drive away? I got to make a decision. We can leave tonight or we can die this way. I'm Harry Carey by the car.
Okay, cut. I'm sorry, Tyler. That's just not what your audition sounded like. We take that again? So it's a great car, very fast, okay? But it's made in China, okay? So we're putting major tariffs on it. Major tariffs. Then I put up another video. Perhaps you've seen it. Did you watch the Grammys? Did you see comedian Bill Burr doing the fucking the awards for, I don't know, it was musical scores, I think, in TV shows or movies or something? Unbelievable. So funny. He's just roasting these people. He can't even pronounce their names. Man, the internet went after Bill Burr for that. Holy shit. The tweets were wild. He really upset the feminists. This is why all fucking white men should be in cages. Cancel fucking... Like, people just went crazy. So I made a video with the Outtakes, basically showing all the things they weren't even allowed to show on the air. Actually, first, I will show you... All right, this is the actual clip from Bill Burr at the Grammys.
Okay, thank you, Janae. How are you? Was I the only one who wanted to kill himself during that piano solo? I bought a suit for this. All right. Hey, how many feminists are like going nuts? So why is this cis white male doing all this Latino stuff? And the Grammy goes to...
Brutal. All right, now here's my outtake video of what they couldn't show.
All right, my wife dragged me into this shit, so let's get it over with. No, but you can't hit her, right? You can't hit her. I hope your grandparents die and yours. I wanna kill myself. That would be the words to this song.
Love you.
Jesus Christ. Looks like Elton John fucked John Lennon. Who's this whore in the back? Just fucking sucking this guy's money out of him. Lounging on the couch, just sitting around all day, putting DVDs into DVD players. You know Twitter is blowing up right now. Feminists' heads just exploding. I bet there's a feminist right now tweeting about how men should be in cages. Oh, he's so racist because he can't pronounce. No, I just can't read, you fucking idiots. I will be accepting the Grammy on behalf of Gustavo.
Oh, thank you, amigo. Thank you. Oh, so happy.
What? Look how fucking awkward it just got in here. If I did an Irish accent, it would be fine, right? We'd all be laughing. But I do a Mexican thing and I'm racist? F you. Why did I do this shit?
So I put that on the internets. I put that up on the World Wide Web. And lo and behold, within 10 minutes of putting it on TikTok, my Bill Burr stuff does really well on TikTok. Banned for being inauthentic. Removed. 2 of my best vids of the week removed from the talk. Inauthentic. So now they have an excuse if they don't like a video you do that has an impression in it.
getting overclamped. They can remove it for being quote unquote inauthentic. Nobody's safe under the woke world. That's the problem. And I'm trusting that soon enough, they're all just going to either eating each other's tails, and then they're just going to destroy this whole woke cancel machine, because nobody's perfect. And I won't even get into it, but there's a whole Teen Vogue thing where a black woman said some negative comments about Asian people when she was 17. She got fired or left, and one of the women that was stoking that firing, celebrating that firing, well, someone dug up her tweets, and there she was saying the old N-word. That's right. And she's white, and you're not allowed to say that when you're white. We all know that. It's fucking basic English 101. It's whiteness 101. Now, will she get canceled? I don't know. I didn't look that up. As the last time I checked, she didn't get in trouble for that, because right now, in my opinion, during the Stop Asian Hate movement, which is a obviously legitimate, good movement, the issue I find sometimes with these movements is you give free passes to anyone who falls under that race. That's my opinion. So that's what I think happened there. Things shifted from Black Lives Matter to Stop Asian Hate. This woman was half Asian, so they gave her a pass. That's just what I think. I could be wrong, okay, because I don't read Teen Vogue. Yes, I do. It's where I find all my clothes, because I'm too tiny to wear adult clothes. I gotta wear clothes with Velcro and lots of loops. How embarrassing is it, man? Like, I wear kids' clothes, and there's nothing more embarrassing than having a sexual encounter with a woman, and she's about to go down on you, and then you just hear Velcro when she's taking your pants off. Oh yeah, you want me to make you feel good? Is that Velcro? Yeah, there's a couple more on the back, and then you're gonna want to unloop my suspenders, and then I have a few double knots tying my pants to my suspenders, and then I'm wearing 3 belts. So I'd say in the next hour or so, we can get this beach going. I think I'm gonna go home. Really? Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. That was a real a real encounter. That was what is it called? When they re-encounter. Reenactment. You see why I'm an actor, because it's just way easier for me to just read a script than have to come up with my own thoughts. But we're working on it. So that happened. So those two things happened, right? Video banned. Now I'm getting overclamped. I'm getting a little upset. I'm getting upset because I've given in to the notion that you should also be on TikTok as a comedian, and I fought it for a while. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do another app. There's so many goddamn apps. Are you on TikTok? Are you in Flip Flop? Are you in TikTok? Are you in Blink? That's where you have to make a video so fast, if you blink, you miss it. Are you on Blink? I don't know. Okay, give me a second, okay? Can I have my coffee first? So I'm getting upset. Then, the next day, I go to sign on to Instagram to see if my Bill Burr video's still up. And my Instagram's not working. I had, let's call it, a panic attack. So I've already had an Instagram page banned, by the way. Okay, so I'm already on edge. I had a parody page that was blowing up, fucking gone one day, called Signs of New York. I photoshopped all sorts of signs, the subway, whatever. Any sign I saw that I thought was funny, I would Photoshop something. A hipster cafe, it would say man bun, shoes, shirt, shoes, man bun required. It was dumb, but it was just like a fun thing to do on the side. Blowing up, gone. Then I got it. Then I get an email from Instagram saying I have one more strike and they're removing my page for nothing. Didn't even tell me why. Then my Instagram's shut down. I fucking went crazy. I was like, this is not... I realized how dependent I was on these social media apps in that moment. I thought, man, what would happen if they actually deleted my Instagram page? Instagram is like, that's your social core now. That's where I book my shows. It's where I promote my shows. It's where I put out my new videos. That's like my hub. And I had this quick little flash of like life without it, and it was very dark. It was very dark. Do you know how easy it would be to have a cyber terrorist attack on our country? I literally had a breakdown. I was like, Putin's at it. It's Putin. This is Putin's work. This smells like Putin. It tastes like Putin. The Russians just are ruining my life, and then I'm going to fucking join QAnon. I literally was like, that's it. I have to join QAnon. It's Antifa or QAnon. One or the other. It's like getting a college tour. I'm like, I'll go get a tour of QAnon and I'll get a tour of Antifa. I could pass for either one, right? You don't know. I could be a fucking barista in Bushwick, or I could be a QAnon leader or an Antifa intern. You don't know. So I could just hop into any one of these groups. But it also did, and I'm not excusing anyone that's in these groups, but I did have a moment of going, ooh, I kind of understand how it can snowball to that. If you feel so ousted, if you feel isolated from society, people start finding these groups and they feel welcomed, and they can post their Cuomo videos on there. So then like 10 minutes later, Instagram was back up, and I went back to hating my life by looking at Instagram all the time. So I think I should do a Jack Dorsey video. I'm actually kind of scared to do an impression of Jack. I think Jack Dorsey is his name, the guy that owns Twitter. I'm like, this is another thing, okay? This is another thing that kind of trips me out here and there. As you may have known, I've done a lot of prank hidden camera videos, kind of poking fun at these large corporations. I did one. I pretended to work at Apple for the day, kind of made fun of how quickly they put out new products and how they just use us, and now you have to buy a new charger every 8 seconds, and there's this one coming on this phone, and then you got to... So I like to make fun of that stuff, and that Whole Foods, which is now owned by Amazon, I had this fear, and I think this would be a good plot for a movie too. I had this fear, like when my Instagram page disappeared, I'm like, oh shit, all these big tech companies have seen these videos, because I know a lot of big higher ups at Apple have seen those. Thankfully, they like them. They could laugh at them. But I'm like, what if they're just fucking slowly shutting down my world until I go crazy? Like that movie, The Game. You ever seen The Game? Have you ever seen The Game with Michael Douglas? Where like, I think his brother or somebody for his birthday gets him a ticket to this game. It's like a real life game, and then you have people just fucking with you, robbing you, trying to ruin your life, trying to just like totally fuck up your entire world so that you have a total breakdown and then realize like you've been a dick the whole time. That's what I think is happening to me sometimes. And also maybe I'm in the Truman Show, and I think Pat Hall sometimes, I remember he thinks he's in the Truman Show sometimes, so maybe we are in the Truman Show sometimes, but also get Pat Hall's record. So, but I don't know. Jack Dorsey, what would he be? I'd be afraid to like date someone with that much power, Is he on a date with somebody and it's just like, it's all like Twitter, you know what I mean? This girl's like telling a story. It's like, let me stop you right there. That was 287 characters, so I'm gonna have to stop you right there. We're gonna have to try that story again. Let's just keep it to 280 characters. Okay, that's enough. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. You can't have those political opinions on this date, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just wipe that away. Okay, my lawyer's actually here, and he's going to talk to you about what you just said about black people. So, okay. Man, what if that happened? What if it would be so easy? Our lives depend on this social media stuff. If they wiped out, I mean, like, think honestly, what would happen if they wiped out Instagram for a day, or wiped out TikTok, or all of it? What if for one day nobody can access social media? That could be the end of the country, like that. No one would know how to function. Everyone would go out in the street and they would just like still be doing TikToks, but not to anything, they couldn't even film it. Everyone's just walking around, just dancing. Does anybody like this? Anybody want to share this? Everyone's just swiping each other's faces because they can't use Tinder. Just, I like you. Clicking on foreheads, just swiping. Oh, I got to see you in another outfit. How do we do this? Anybody, look at this. This was on Etsy. Will somebody buy this shirt? Will somebody buy this shirt? I put all these jewels on it. Just having a total fucking meltdown. Just social media, internet worlds colliding with real life. Nobody knows what's what. People are just holding up their cappuccinos, but there's no pictures to be taken because Instagram doesn't work. Just look at these eggs. Somebody like these eggs. Farm fresh, please. Please like and share this. I can't do this anymore. And then we'd all just kill each other. On that note, hey, this show's supported by Patreon, by amazing people like you. And I'm going to be doubling down on trying to get people to join Patreon, not only because it does help support my comedy, but also as things are getting canceled at some point, because I'm thinking if they deleted that from Instagram, nobody would have seen that Cuomo video. So I need to protect myself. We need to protect each other. So Patreon is I think eventually is going to be the only place that I can put content. That's my opinion. That's my theory, because I think as they have more and more excuses to ban videos and topics, and good Lord, there was just a bill passed in Scotland where hate speech is now if you like hurt someone's feelings. It's not, Jesus Christ, it's Scotland. Christ, people are going to be arrested all. Oh, fuck yeah, they're trying to do it. They're trying to cancel me, fuck yeah. Look at your stupid fucking shirt. You can't say that to me, you get arrested. You go get him, he called me he said my shirt was stupid. You're going to jail. Decent Scottish accent, not great. I think we could say it's not great. But they just passed that in Scotland. We have the First Amendment, which is protecting us, but if that starts to erode, it's all over. So my point is, patreon.com/Tyler Talks. Patreon.com/Tyler Talks. And my next Patreon only Zoom stand-up comedy show will be on March 30th. We're going to try a weeknight. So if you join Patreon, whatever you pay, you get a private exclusive invite to that Zoom comedy show. It's right here, and then I bring a bunch of comedians on. Lots of fun. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, and thank you so much for watching. And I hate to I don't want to be touchy, but I'm going to touch this record one more time, okay? Bad Hole, check him out. Check him out. We're going to play it out. We're going to play the show out. Play it out? What does that mean? We'll do it live. Okay. Here's another tune by Pat Hole.